So there I was, debating how I was going to cover the third hotfix to the Wortox, Wendy, and Walter skill tree release, only to realize that Clay kind of went all over the place this time. So why don't we do a bit of the same and have a second unscripted beta guide video for all our pleasures? Let's get to it. And to begin, we go a bit out of order of how I started, because Wortox doesn't have anything, when Wendy here literally has a brand new set of skills. And as you could guess, they're all tied to morning glories. And at the cost of 4 of them, and the skill of course, we can now bring back butterflies to life? Question mark? Sure. I guess this is gonna be a thing. But next up, Morning Glory 2, which gives us the Wraith's Wreath, and I think it's gonna be the only reason to go down this branch, at least for now. It does decay over time, but this thing lets Wendy drink elixirs. And no surprise here, they're all gonna follow in very similar footsteps to what they would do if we used them on our dead sister. But the weird thing is, since right click is using on Abigail, we have to kind of drag them over to this and then use them. But as you can see, now we are restoring health. Even if I do the Spectre Cure All, boom, even faster. Yep, that's kind of self-explanatory. No surprise here, the Unyielding Drought is Abigail's shield. So if we use it, hey-oh, we got a shield. Oh, come on, spider. Hit me. Thank you very much. A fully blocking damage, everybody. We'll take it. Whereas Distilled Vengeance is going to be a shield, but it's also going to reflect damage. Boom. 20 damage back to attackers. Nightshade Nostrum is kind of interesting because I don't think it does what we all think it's going to do. We suddenly get night vision and, well, we don't exactly get an increase in damage now, do we? But hey, it's still a thing. I feel like I might be missing something with the ghastly experience here, as just 5 sanity per drink is not that good. So if somebody knows that it's doing something else and I'm just not seeing it, please let us know. And last and probably least, Vigor Mortis, because it's kind of weird. Let's say your speed is like slowed by something, say a piggyback, and then you use this. You like gain speed boost, but only if your speed boost is below 1. So it's like not even a piggyback. It would have to be like, you know, suspicious marble kind of. Whoops, I spawned 15 of them, but like, yeah, I don't know. I don't even think it's actually working, to be honest, but that is what's supposed to be happening. But Morning Glory 3, everyone, at the cost of 40 health, 10 Morning Glories, and some Cutstone, we can make ourselves an altar that is essentially a grave that our friends can revive on. Yes, indeed. Yet again, another revival method. 2 in 1 update. And for those wondering, yes, even Wendy players can use it, but we have to click an extra button to do so. So, you know, on that side of things, that's pretty nice. But with the fresh stuff out of the way, let's talk the tweaks to pre-existing things, like grave beautification. If we have this skill active, not only do picking evil flowers not drain sanity anymore, we actually gain sanity. So there you go. Have fun. Clay has gone and buffed Blessed Cistern 3 and 4, everybody, to where when we leave Abigail at a cistern, she gains 2 health per tick instead of 1. Also, if we happen to go really far away from her, she's still gonna see that tick. It's not gonna stop. Yeah. That's pretty nice. But Clay give and Clay take it away, everyone, as we need to talk all the nerfs that they just gave to this chick, Gestalt Abigail. First of all, her damage is way lower, as she is only dealing, as you can see, 220 damage at night, down from 500. Yeah, big old nerf. Second, she can now get hits when she is actually doing this attack. Third, when her health drops below 25%, she will stop attacking and flee until her health returns to 25%, so you want to keep up her healing. 4, her Vex time has increased, so that's kind of the buff within the nerf. But 5, if her health goes down to 0 from 25%, meaning like if she gets a really big hit. Also, she 100% did not flee combat right there. But hey, you can actually see what I was talking about. Her health stays a little above 1, so that like she comes back a little faster. Yeah, it's It's not great. I'm not gonna lie to you, Wendy mains. You guys kind of got roller coaster happening right now. We'll have to talk about that later, as this hotfix is Walter's time to shine. And first things first, a base default buff to his firing speed, everyone. And as you can see, it's pretty damn significant. But some changes to rounds in general. Ichor rounds now just have a slightly shorter duration of how much they're gonna gooify our hostile enemies, but honestly, it's still pretty freaking long, as you can see, so I don't think it's that big of a deal. Dreadstone rounds have a whole bunch of stuff, everyone. And as you can see, there's a pretty darn significant chance of them not breaking upon impact. But if you were paying attention, you saw we were doing 68 damage. If we're Void Walter, that is now up to... okay, well, it's supposed to actually increase the damage, but it's not. And lastly, pure horror rounds, everyone. And for the most part, they're just kind of faster and maybe a little longer. The damage over time has an increased duration. There's a shorter delay between the damage tick of our little pure horror inkling dudes there. I think there's like a max stack of the inklings of 4 guys at a time, which I actually thought that already was a thing, but hey, whatever. And apparently the void set is also gonna give it a boost as well, up to 2 more ticks of... maybe? Up to 2 more ticks per, I think, is what they meant to do. But since it didn't do the Dreadstone thing, it's doing 47. Hold up. This is why we do unscripted stuff. 37, right? Nope, it's still doing 47. I lied. All right, so I don't think the void things are actually working right now. They're meant to. Just know that Shadow Walter is starting to get a little more enticing. But yeah, to give you an idea of what to look for, when you shoot now, our little tick guys do 7 ticks extra of damage. So another 70 damage on top of that. So what should happen is with the Void Gal, you should get another 9 ticks of that. So 90 extra damage on top of the 47, which I also believe is also going to get buffed anyway. So yeah, Walter, once this is working and refined and the bugs are gone, is probably gonna look pretty good. Next set of tweaks, all related to the slingshot customization, folks, and they're pretty nuts. It sounds like grip tape and void tape are gonna come with the ability to make Gatling Walter a thing. So here's the deal. If you have any of those grip tapes and you just keep holding F, you, yeah. You become Gatling Walter. But again, if you, for whatever reason, interrupt it, you have to restart, and then you get this insane, bonkers fire rate. Yeah, and you know the crazy thing too? You can automatically get this fire rate if you do a charge shot. If you do a charge shot, you automatically start rapid firing. So there is no reason not to do a charge shot first. You have so much distance between you and your target that... yeah, that's nuts. And again, that is for the slingshot grip tape and the void wrap. But we also have the jelly grip, which I believe is fully implemented now, and then the sticky grip, both of which are gonna make it to where we no longer have the slippy one wet thing. But let's say we do this, as I believe this is the better one, we also just get a base increase to our shot speed. Yes, we do. Absolutely. Honestly, is this the same speed as what we were just doing instead of ramping up? Whoa. Here I was thinking that the void grip or grip tape were gonna be good. I feel like this is just good by default. And no surprise, some of the biggest final tweaks of Walter come down to Wobby training, everyone. And right now, Clay is doing a very nice job of just kind of telling us what all these are gonna do now via Wobby's training badge thingy-madoog, whatever we call this thing. But there are some changes to these specifically, so we might as well talk about them. Agility is just gonna go faster now whenever you're widing Wobby. Bravery here is gonna go up when we deal damage on the back of Wobby, and it just levels up faster. Support is gonna give us sanity regeneration when we're on the backs of Wobby, and attacking on the back of Wobby also increases the progress of support as well as bravery, and this now levels up faster too. Digging badge just made it to where we have an increased chance of her actually finding something versus not finding something, and also decrease the overall cooldown of this. I will have more numbers for you when it's actually legit in the full branch, because they'll probably change this again. And the fetching badge here just makes it to where when we put an item into Wabi, she will pick it up. And this one, I can actually kind of show you. As it's very simple. I put a twig in Wabi, she's gonna pick up twigs. But not all the time. Sometimes she fails to do so, like she just did. Good girl. That was a perfect time to fail that so we can show people. So yes, when we put items in her inventory, that is what she collects. And there's an increased cooldown between doing the actions, but as you just saw, it's not that crazy. Yeah, this is a hell of a lot better than it was before, I'll tell you that. But some of our last and quickest highlights of the day, Wortox. And one of his things is now when you overload, the amount of souls that you actually have over the amount you're supposed to have will determine how much sanity you lose when they actually overload. But that's not actually that bad. That was 20 more souls than I should be having, and I only lost 40 sanity. That's not the worst in the world. What's actually quote unquote much worse is the Naughty Inclination's newest addition. The souls that we drop don't actually heal us for as much as they used to. Ooh, yeah, not much at all, everybody. Yeah, if you're used to getting like potentially 30 soul HP, yeah, you don't get that anymore. And lastly, at least for the most part, we kind of leave a decoy all the time now, even when we like don't have anything aggroed on us or anything to even pull the aggro of the decoys. I'm not entirely sure why, but you know, it's a thing. And folks, believe it or not, there you have it. That was the third update to the update in its bulk. I didn't make mention of opening soul jars, now expiring soul echo timers, but hey, that's a thing. I also didn't say that the slingshot field kit can be used while mounted. That's also a thing. I didn't make mention of how stun locking the Frostjaw, Spider Queen, Koalefant, Nightmare, and Scrappy Werepig are a little better. And I didn't say that aimed and charged shots with Walter's ammos will now no longer hit walls. But make all 4 of those notes as you go about trying to dissect this update yourself. But what do I think, you ask? It's okay. Gotta be honest, I was maybe expecting a little more, but to see Wortox not getting much of anything makes total sense. Wendy getting pretty nerfed to the ground while having a brand new branch surprises me, and Walter just continuing to be utter nonsense also does not shock me one bit. But they have said that they plan on working on Wabi and expanding the skill tree, but they don't want to do it until after their Christmas break. So they're probably going to drop this next week, everyone, with a few more changes, and then just say, screw it, we ain't doing nothing until 2025. So you know what? I'll see you for 2025 as well, potentially. I'll see you in the next one. Bye-bye.